Okay, guys, so we seem to be getting some calls this morning, so I decided to start up the live stream just so I can pick them up and you guys can watch me do my thing. And it's around 11 a.m. in the US right now, so that's the most common time that they call in the morning because most of the restaurants open at 11 a.m. and when it comes to those who open early at like 6 a.m., 10:30 to 11 a.m. is a quiet time for them. I'm talking about Hog and Bones and Jerry J's and Southern Roost. Um, they open at 6 and like at 10:30 their breakfast ends and the traffic at the restaurant is slow, the drive-through and also indoors. Not a lot of people come through during that time. And then again, once lunch starts, which is around for them around 11:30. I mean, technically the lunch starts at 10:45 for Hog and Bones, Jerry J's, and Southern Roost, but around 11:30 they start getting busy, and then at like 12:30, 1 p.m. they are slammed and they cannot call us for anything. So hopefully we're gonna get some calls in right now. So Roy, the reason I told you to refer Grant over to Jim from the corporate office is because those changes, like I said, we can make them for for a single location. So if I search for cinnamon roll, we have 3 items. So you can see here the printer group is hot bar, but he wants it to just go to the expo line. We can do location specific settings and just change it for this one location and not touch the other ones. But we do like to keep them all at the same, how would you say it? At the same level, so everything prints the same. Because the stores are pretty much identical, so whatever change that one store requests, we refer them to the corporate office, and then once those guys approve that change, Jim sends it over to us and we get it done. So that's one thing you need to know about them. I'm not sure if I ever mentioned that before. Um, so let me see what could we do right now while there are no calls. So yeah, as soon as you mentioned the utilizing the tools that I showed you yesterday, you got a call from Alfredo asking for to reprint an end of day report. Um, so there you go. You knew that you had to go to end of day history and print the report for him. So it's already coming in handy, which is good. So one thing that I want to just show you guys when it comes to so frequent calls that you're gonna get are gonna be about printers. That's like most of the time. I mean, the most common calls we get are about printers, and so we divide printers into two pieces. Angela, I'm not sure if I spoke to you about this. I think I mentioned it, but you probably forgot, and I don't blame you for it. It's a lot of information coming through over to you at this moment. So we divide printers into two categories, so to say. We have kitchen printers and we have receipt printers. So I'm gonna pull up. I'm not gonna take Hog and Bones for now. It's gonna be for you, Angela. It's gonna be a much more complicated example. So there's no need for us to go into that because they have a lot of kitchen printers, and I talked to Roy about that stuff. I put on a graph for him, or I actually drew in paint so I can help him understand. But actually, while we're on it, I may as well show it to you as well. So um, if you look at any of these Hog and Bones, so Hog and Bones, Jerry J's, Southern Roost, these are all fast food chains similar to like McDonald's. So they have a drive-through and they have restaurants inside the oh my God, restaurants, tables inside the building as well where people can sit. So they have six right now this one is offline. Six kitchen printers, and they are all network printers. So whenever it's a kitchen printer, it's a network printer. It has an IP address. It's not connected by a USB cable to a station or anything like that. It goes into a network switch, which then leads to another network switch, the main switch and stuff like that. So they communicate over a IP address. So whenever someone gives you a call and tells you that, hey, my printer in the kitchen is not working, the first thing I would like you guys to do is pull up that restaurant in back office. Let's say I got a call from I don't know, Cedar Lane. You pull them up in back office, and immediately you're going to go into printers and kitchen displays. Let me just get this loaded up. And in here, you have this, we cannot see it because of the scroll bar now, but you have this little chain link that tells you if it's green, that means the printer is online. So it may not be an issue with the connection. And then if it's red, let me change this to a different IP. If it turns red, then that means that that IP address that back office is looking for is actually 201 is also a printer. 202 is not going to be one. Um, it tells you that the IP address that is assigned here in back office is offline. Why doesn't it want to update now? Okay, there we go. It takes a moment. So that's the first thing that I want you guys to do when you get a call um, about a kitchen printer not working. So I'm gonna change this back 200. Yeah. Okay. So what Roy is writing in chat, I'm gonna go through that now. I'm gonna go back to Hog and Bones just so I can. I'm gonna pull up Paint again. Angela, don't kill me. I'm not the best of artists, so um, I'll try my best to just explain how it all functions for these guys. So they have six kitchen printers. Pretty much all of them have. Sometimes some sites also have a. It says potato here, but it prints items that contain potatoes and like salads and stuff like that. So Heinz will close down, and then we have Jessup again, six printers. This one is they're having an issue with it, so it's offline, and they have that same printer. And then there's another one. This one, I'm going into complicated territory. This printer prints stuff from their kitchen screens. So when they bump an order on their kitchen screen, it prints over to this printer. It prints like a label, pretty much, that they attach to if they're bagging the food for someone to take it home with them. They attach that label to the bag. But let's not take Jessup. Kingsland closed down. So Leesburg, six printers. As you can see, no potato printer, no kitchen tickets for the KDS. So pretty much what the layout is, that's printers. And now we talk about stations. And let's take Leesburg as an example. They're a simple site to look at. So stations, we have one, two, three, four, five, and six. And again, I think we went through this, Angela, last week. The station names are labeled we try to put it by the spot that they are placed in physically at the restaurant. So stations one and two are at the counter. So that's the counter that when you come into the restaurant and you want to order and eat inside the restaurant, you come up to the counter, or you can also order to go, of course, but let's say you're eating at the restaurant. So you're coming in at the counter, and they have a station, they have a cashier who's going to ring up your order, take a payment, and send it through to the kitchen. So counter. Then we have a call-in station. This is a designated station for call-in orders. So when they call over the phone to place an order, the guys at the store use this station to do that. And then we have the drive-through, one station for taking orders and another station for cashing people out. And the sixth station only for clocking in and out. They don't use this one for anything else, which is uh, pretty simple. We don't have to go into that. So pretty much what we have here with these stations and the printers, you can see also how the printers are named. So it says Expo Drive. Expo Drive is going to print orders from their drive-through. So whatever they ring up on the order taking side in the drive-through, it's going to print to this Expo printer. Um, we have the for here printer and then for onlines and to goes. So this is determined by the order type that they select when starting the order on the POS. So if they choose call in, it's going to print to onlines and to goes because most of the time when people call in to place an order, it's going to be a to go order. They're going to pick up the food and take it home. They're not going to eat inside the restaurant. And then if they choose dine in, of course, then that order is going to print on the for here printer. And if they choose drive through, that's going to print on this one. If they choose to go, that one goes, that again goes to online slash to go. Catering is a specific case. They do have large catering orders for companies, for parties and stuff like that. So those just go to the here printer because the customers come to pick up that food. It's not delivered or anything, even though they're taking it with them. It comes to this printer. Even though if it came to this printer, it wouldn't really matter. It's the same thing, but they decided to go with this one when we were setting this up. Delivery, so that's again an online order or a to-go order, so it's going to print on this one. Dine-in QR, so QR is there's a QR code on the tables at the restaurant, so a customer can sit down, scan the QR code, place the order. It's going to come through to the kitchen, and because they sat down at the table, it's going to be a for here order, so it's going to print to this printer. And then DoorDash, this is Leesburg and Valdosta. That's what the L stands for, and V for Valdosta. And online ordering, all of these are going to print to the online slash to go because they're all online orders. Now, where do we set that up? Where do we tell these stations, where do we tell the system, hey, when they select this order type, send that order to this printer? Well, that's going to be under stations. If I scroll down, you'll notice here there are no assignments, but under order type routings, we have all of that, what I just explained. So the Expo printer group, when the order type is call in, so if the customer is calling in, send it to print routing expo online slash to go. So print routings, if I pull them up here, let's get to Leesburg. So these are the print routings. So this is where you tell, hey, this print routing utilizes this printer. We can have print routings using multiple printers. Like here, we have a kitchen screen, we have a hot bar printer, and we have an expo printer. Okay. So that's where we, underneath stations, we set this up. Again, this is specific just for Hog and Bones, Jerry J's, and Southern Roost because these guys are very complicated. The stores are very, very, very much optimized for speed of service. That's the most important thing for them, speed of service. Just like any fast food restaurant, speed of service is essential. And that's why it's so complicated to set everything up. And I'm going through this now. It's complicated, but hopefully it's gonna come to you at a later time when you find yourself in a situation when you get a call for something like this, you'll know why it functions the way it does. So um, then we have the hotbar printer groups. Now the printer groups are what we set up to tell items to the printer groups are assigned to items. So there are items like drinks, for example. They don't need to print in the kitchen, so they just go to the expo printers. And I'm gonna bring up Paint now so I can, Roy, you know what I'm about to do probably. So let me just make this bigger. So let's say, doo-doo-doo, where's my, is this, let's put a line and let's make it solid outline. Let's do it like this. So let's say this divides the restaurant. So this line, oh, let me make it straight. So on the right we have the kitchen. On the left is the restaurant. So let's divide it in those two. So up here I'm gonna type, and how do I make this centered? Okay, kitchen, and make this bold and bigger, like this, whatever. And then over here we're gonna have restaurant. Okay, so oh my god, I don't know how to use Paint. This new Paint is killing me. I'm used to the old one. Okay, so between the restaurant and the kitchen, so the restaurant is where you have tables, you have that counter that I just explained, and people are taking orders and stuff like that. And right behind the counter, you have this wall. Let's say you have a wall, and then in the middle of the wall, there's a window. So there's a window right about here where the kitchen passes the food to these guys through that window. Okay? So the staff that is on this side is taking the food from this window. So the window is like it has a small counter, let's say again, where you have, so let me draw that as well. Let's use a smaller line now. No, this one's going to be this, but the next one is going to be this. So this shape, okay? So we have one printer, we have the second printer, and we have the third printer. Okay, so these three are the three expo printers. So the expo printers, they print everything. So when the cashiers and servers come to pick up the food, they see the ticket on the expo printer and they know what's inside that dish or whatever it is. So one printer is for the drive-through, which is somewhere on the side here, let's say. And then one printer is for here orders, and then another one um, uh, for uh, for onlines and to goes. Okay, and on this side, it's not on the counter here, but let's say you have like those kitchen countertops and stuff like that. They have one, two, and three printers. So these ones are the hotbar printers. So the hotbar printers, if I go here, we call them the hotbar because they're on the hot line inside the kitchen. So if you get a call from a Hog and Bones, Jerry J's, or Southern Roost, and they tell you, "Hey, my kitchen printer is not working," you can assume that they're talking about a hotbar printer. And then immediately, what I said at the beginning of the stream, immediately what you're going to do is you're going to, just to confirm that that's the printer they're talking about, it's one of these, you're going to come in here, you're going to pull up the account and go straight into printers and kitchen displays. If there's an issue with a kitchen printer, most of the time it's going to be offline. It's going to have this red broken chain link. So then you can know, okay, so we have a hotbar here printer, kitchen printer, so to say, not working. So immediately you can focus your troubleshooting on two things. First off, you're going to ask them, is the printer powered on? If it's powered on, most printers have a light on them indicating that they're getting power. If it's not powered on, you're gonna focus on uh, troubleshooting that. So you're gonna try. The printer has a power cable. It has a power brick. Let me show you what that looks like. Epson TMM30 power supply. So this is the power brick. Let me just pull up images. This is the power brick. It's the same as a laptop charger. Oh, I'm sorry, Claudio is. Okay, sorry guys, I have both Claudio and Matthias messaging me. Um, okay, so this power brick, it looks like a laptop charger, so most people know what a laptop charger looks like. So when you need to paint with your words, you can use that. You can tell them, hey, if you trace the power cable from the printer, it's going to lead you to a small little brick the size of your hand. It looks like a laptop charger, and I'm just going to need you to unplug it for like 15 seconds and plug it back in. Sometimes the power brick is going to go loose on this end where the cable can be unplugged. The other end is fixed. So it's just going to go loose. It needs to be unplugged and replugged. And once they do that, the printer gets power, it comes back online, and everything works fine. So that's scenario number one. Scenario number two, if the printer is offline here, but they tell you that it does have power, you're going to focus on the Ethernet cable that's connected to the printer. Now, you have on these Epson M30s, the cables are plugged in on the bottom side. So sometimes the printers are going to have a cover on the bottom side, a plastic cover that needs to be taken off. The guys on site should know how to take it off. It opens like a door, so you just take one end and you pull it down, and it opens. So but most of the time for Hog and Bones and Jerry J's, it's already exposed so they can access the cables. They maybe need to open the back cover to make it easier for them, but they should be able to access it. So you're going to tell them, okay, uh, when they tell you that the power is on, so we need to focus on the Ethernet cable. I'm going to call it the LAN cable from now on, just because Ethernet is a too much, too long of a word for me. LAN is pretty simple. So just so you guys know what I'm referring to when I say a LAN cable. So you're gonna try to explain to them if they don't know what a when you're talking to them, you're gonna always say Ethernet cable, or you can also say internet. For them, it's the same, and I mean it is the same. But when you say internet cable, it may to them it may ring, it may sound more familiar, so they know what to look for. Um, in any case, you're going to have them unplug it and replug it on the printer. And then also, if that doesn't bring it back online, you got to trace the cable with them to the other side, see if it plugs it. Sometimes that cable is going to go up to a wall jack in the ceiling. So they're going to have to get a ladder or something to climb up and unplug and replug. Most of the times in these kitchens, it's somewhere up high on a wall. So it's a wall jack, but it sits up close to the ceiling at most of the restaurants. So they have to get up somehow and unplug it and replug it. There are restaurants that have it at like waist height behind some kitchen counter or something. But in any case, you're going to have them trace that cable to the other side, and whatever it's plugged into, unplug it and replug it. And most of the times it's as simple as that, and you can fix that issue by just doing that. Okay, now I gotta help out Matthias with something, and we'll get back to this topic. Um, Let me see what he needs. I'm gonna mute myself. You guys can watch the stream, see me do something. Or actually, I'll leave it on. Let me just see what he needs. Okay. Matthias office. Okay, so Matthias is setting up some new printers for a new site, and one of them is not cutting the paper correctly. So I just need to see if can we do that through. Uh, 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 um, so what I'm trying to do right here is I'm trying to access the printer's settings through the web browser. That's something that we can do with network printers. Um, we can you type in the IP address in a web browser, and it asks for this username and password. Before, the username and password used to be both Epson, but with the newer printers, they changed it so the password is always the printer's serial number, which I had Matthias send me a picture of so I can connect. Okay, that's good. All right, so I just want to see what type of settings do we have here. No, 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 no. Okay, none of this stuff is going to work. So I need to download something. So TM-L100, that's the model of the printer. And these TM-L100s are sticky paper printers, so they can print with regular paper, but they use them for sticky paper that they can attach to bags when they're packing stuff to go for their customers. So I'm going to be using, I don't need the advanced printer driver. I need something called TM-L100 utility. Okay. So this is a piece of software that allows me to access the printer's internal settings, so to say. So download it and just gonna install this real quick. Okay, TML100 utility. Okay, so now we need to add the printer. So add port, and it's going to be network, and 202 is the one we're looking for, the one that's messing up. Okay, so this is what that looks like. I'm gonna go into main settings and basic. And let's see, so paper width. So what's happening with the printer is that it's not cutting the paper at the right time. So print speed level 11, print density 115%. Cut paper when the cover is closed. Buzzer, I'm gonna disable that. Claudio, Matthias said that it's making a noise. The buzzer is, there's an internal buzzer that beeps when an order when something prints. So he's saying that it's beeping constantly. So I'm just gonna disable that. So I just disabled this and set it so it's disabled. I'm gonna connect to the other printer just so I can compare the settings between the two, because the other one works fine and this one does not. So I'll just take screenshots of these settings on the other printer and then come back into these settings and match the two. Okay, so let's go back into not that. Okay, so add ports, network. So the other one is 200. All right. So, like I said, I'm gonna take screenshots of every screen. Save this as, what does it say? L100 setting. Okay, and then printing control. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this. Save as printing control. Paper reduction. So I think this one matches. It was the same on this one, on the other one. Uh, okay. All right. Let's see if anything was different. So I disabled the buzzer, right, for this one. Okay. Most of the times we don't want the buzzer, the thing to beep because it's a little bit annoying. So um, communication error. The black mark control. Black mark control. Okay. First time seeing the black mark control setting, whatever that is. Okay. It's probably not going to be under network settings, but I just want to check all of it. Okay. Black mark. Oh, there it is. When using liner free labor, black mark. So it is enabled. Okay, so this setting is probably going to have some effect on it, but let's mess with the settings. Let's see what works and what doesn't. Okay, communication error again. Okay, I'm gonna close this down. Nope, don't save anything. Yes. All right. Let's go to this one so I can take my screenshots. And guys, yeah, we will get back to this once I'm done with this stuff. So I'm just gonna pull this up on my other screen, but I think it looks the same. Okay. So 80 millimeter, 48 columns, enabled 5 millimeters, enabled 720 minutes, 2 dots, enable, disable. That's correct. Okay. Printing control. Level 11, 115, enable, disable, command and cover close. Offline, okay, prints, always disable, disable. Cancels the busy state. Okay, enable, enable. Okay, so this all looks all right. Now, the setting we're looking for is probably this one, pre-feed before next print. So I'm gonna say donut pre-feed, set it to 0. Okay, I had to go get a sip of water. Okay, so that's set, and let's see. So, guys, just to give you a quick thing on so you can see what's actually going on with the printer. This is how much paper it prints from a single feed, so to say. So it's just spitting out paper like crazy. It should print maybe like up to here, but it's printing like triple the size that's needed. So that's why we're trying to figure it out. So I'm connected to Southern Roost Blackshare now because I know they have these L100s just so I can compare some settings. Um, okay. Let me just see, just to make sure I don't bring down the drive-through one. Okay. Okay. So the IP I'm looking for is 202. Hmm. Maybe one of these will work also. Okay. Black mark control should be disabled and all this stuff is okay. Printing control, print density 130. Okay. Paper reduction, no reduction. Okay. So disable black mark control and density can be 130. Okay. All right, let's get back to Matt's PC. Oh, not that. Uh, uh, um, Angela, if you need to take a break, you can go ahead, take like 10, 15 minutes, whatever you need. I know you haven't been on break since you got in this morning, so I'll finish this up and I'll take one myself as well, and then we'll come back to the live stream afterwards. I should be done pretty soon with this, I guess. Yeah, so it is interesting even to me, to be honest with you. I like when I learn new stuff. I've been in this so long that it's all become a routine, but this is something new. I haven't messed with it before, so but you saw, I mean, I don't know what I'm doing pretty much. I know what I'm looking for, maybe, but I know that out there in the field we have working printers that I can compare settings with, and that black mark control seems to have fixed the issue because Matthias just let me know that it's working fine now. So I'm just going to do the same for the other one. And okay, so he wants the buzzer back on. Okay. Um, if you guys have any questions, type them in the chat while we're waiting for these Epson tools to do what they need to do. And don't be afraid to ask questions, please. I like it when you ask questions. I don't like it when you type, "Hey, I'm good. I got everything." There's gonna be a situation where I'm expecting you to know what you need to do, and then you're like, well, I'm not sure. And that's why I want you to ask questions. Don't be afraid because I know that when I first started working with Claudio, I was, so to say, on his ass all the time, asking him question after question after question. And I told you, Angela, yesterday that I only had 1 day of training when I first started working with him. And then it was straight like, okay, go ahead, pick up calls, and if you need anything, ask me. So it was very interesting, to be honest with you. Um, do we have many L100 printers out there? So not really. Um, I would say maybe huh, not even 10% of printers that we have out there are L100s. They're pretty specific um, printers for specific restaurants. Not everyone wants them, and not everyone needs them. So, uh, a communication error again. What the hell's going on with this one? Okay, I'm gonna do something. Matthias, I'm guessing, didn't do what I told him to do. Uh, Roy, no, L90 is the old model. L100 is a newer model. Um, I mean, yeah, you're right. They're almost not in use, but they are pretty much label printers, sticky printers. They print sticky paper that can be they stick it onto bags and stuff like that. So, um, but yeah, they are used in specific situations for specific types of restaurants. Mostly these fast food chains use them. At like regular restaurants, we don't have, I don't think, maybe two of them at in the rest of the restaurants. So they're not really used too commonly. And one of the reasons is also that they are a bit more expensive than the regular thermal printers. Like a thermal printer is like 250, $300, while the sticky one is 500 or more. So that's another reason people don't go for them is to save money. Okay, so wrong start menu. Okay, finally. Okay, so we got both printers fixed by just disabling that. Um, what was it? Black. What was it? What did it say? Black marker or something? Yeah, black mark control. That setting was causing the issue, so once we disabled it, it's good to go. All right, so that's one thing you have to know. I mean, you cannot know it right off the bat, but how to improvise stuff like I just did. So I didn't know what I'm doing here, but I knew that out there in the field we have the same printer and it's working fine. So I checked the settings on it and I saw that setting was disabled. So gave it a try and it worked. So sometimes it takes 5 minutes, sometimes it takes 50 minutes, but as long as we figure it out, that's all good. All right, we're done with this. So I'm gonna get out. Okay, close it. All set. Is connected. Okay. Um, do we have anything going on? So I took this text because Simply Delicious is a new restaurant that they're using Spot On, but they're not using the same product. So Roy, I'm not sure if you probably know what Spot On Express is. So Spot On Express is another POS system by Spot On, and it's designed so simple to that you cannot even believe how simple it is. And it's something new, something that we're trying. So we have Simply Delicious, and there's going to be one more restaurant using it, but I don't know. I cannot remember. Or actually, there's one already using that POS. Let me just find. I cannot remember what the name is. We literally don't get any calls from these guys. I just want to see if I can connect to their Flaming Smokers. There we go. So Flaming Smokers uses Express. Yeah, so Express is everything is set up in the hub in the dashboard, and Flaming Smokers. Okay, these guys are not actually live. Um, I didn't know that. This is probably sitting in the office for testing, but it's a very simple POS. It's like you put your code in, you have the menu, and that's it. You don't have, there are not many other functions. I don't know, Roy, you probably know more about it than I do. So um, as we start rolling out these customers, going live with them with Express, we will touch on that subject yet as well. But there's no need for us to go into that right now. But I'm just saying, I took this. Um, I took this ticket because I want to take care of it. But Roy, I mean, you can do it as well if you want to. It doesn't really, it's all the same to me. I think I already added this stuff to the system a few days ago. So, but I'll check it out. It's okay. All right, guys, let's take a short break, 10, 15 minutes, and I'll come back to you. Hopefully we can get a call or two in before I disconnect for the day. So yeah, I'll let you know when I'm back. I'll leave the stream open, just mute myself. Guys, are you here? Roy, you watching the stream? Roy, I'm gonna take this from you just so I can call these guys. I'm not sure who this person is, but I'm gonna take the opportunity to get a call on the stream here. So can you guys hear the air call ringing?
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach.
Okay, and they're not picking up. I guess I'll try one more time. Okay, that's good. That means that you should hear them talk as well.
Hello?
Hey there, this is Marco from Georgia POS. I'm calling you back about the text you sent
Okay.
to us.
Yeah, I was just letting you know. So we're like sometimes the system won't like let us log in. Like it's kind of like irresponsive, and then or unresponsive. Sorry, and then the tickets don't print out in the kitchen for the cooks.
Okay, and has that just started happening today, or has it been going
Yeah,
for
it just started happening. No, it just started around
around
11:30, something like that. So just started happening.
Okay, so it doesn't let you log into the POS, that's what you're saying. And then when you do log in,
But
it's not sending tickets through.
yeah,
Okay.
the cooks aren't getting the kitchen.
Okay, and are we talking about just one of the POS stations, or is it all of them doing that same thing?
Hold on, let me send this ticket from the other station real quick, and let me see if they get it. But I know the tablet was having issues as well. Check that. No. One second, I'm gonna send this ticket, and then let's see. Boy, me llevas esos. Okay, let me see if they get it. I just sent a ticket. ¿Te cayó el ticket? Sí. Okay, so the thingy, huh? Yeah. So it's only some of them though
Okay, so
that don't come out.
the order you just sent through, it came through just fine.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me see. I'm
Ahí
connecting
estamos.
to all of your
Ajá,
POS
aprovecho.
stations. All right, and then
¿Quién agarró la tres? ¿Vos? ¿What? Mire, estoy hablando con él, pero yo le dije que son solamente uno.
okay, guys, I have her muted. So as you can see, I just
Tiki,
lost connection
no
to
salen ahí
all the
porque
POS
mandé uno
stations,
y
so
le
their
cayó.
internet
Pero
is
yo
going
creo
in
que
and
más o
out.
menos por eso como que no le
That's why
estaba
I'm
dando
just gonna get them
PlayStation 2.
to come
Ajá.
on
Me dijo
onto
que
the
está mirando
cellular
y
backup
checando,
internet
pero
for now
I don't know.
to prevent these issues. There seems to be something going on with their internet providers. So, um, ma'am, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I would say you guys are having some issues with your internet connection. I just lost connection to your whole system, so that's causing the issues you're having. So we have a backup solution for that, and I would need your assistance just for like 2 minutes if you have the time just to do something with me.
Okay, you can. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
All right, so let me just see where this thing is. We're looking for a router. This is going to be, okay, so it says here behind the front counter, you have some devices. There's a silver box.
Mm-hmm.
It has a label that says POS router on it. It has two antennas sticking out the back.
Yes.
Okay.
POS router. Yeah.
Okay, so on the back of that POS router, you should have only two cables plugged in, right?
Mm-hmm. I
Okay.
have switch and internet.
Okay, the internet cable, I need you to unplug it and leave it unplugged for now.
Okay.
And then once you leave that unplugged, there's also a power cable plugged in on the far left, the way you're looking at it, probably on the far left, close to one of the antennas.
Yes.
I need you to unplug that power cable completely and then plug it back in after like 5 seconds.
Oh. Okay.
All right. Now, the light on the front of the silver box, there's a small light in the bottom left corner. It should be changing
Mhm.
colors at this moment, right?
Right now it's like orangey red color.
Okay. Okay. Let's give it a minute. When you power cycle that device, it takes a minute, minute and a half to come back up. And when it does, you should
Mhm.
have a stable purple light on it. That means that you're running on backup internet connection and your system should be working fine after that. So let's just wait for a minute and we should be done pretty soon.
I
Uh,
don't plug in the internet, right?
yeah,
No.
the internet stays unplugged.
Okay. It now changing color.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Let's just give it some time. So the reason you were having the issue is because your internet provider, they're maybe having some maintenance done or some sort of a outage going on, so you're not getting a stable
Okay.
connection. But now that we've unplugged your internet provider, the POS router, it has a small SIM card inside of it, which provides, like you have on your
Uh-huh.
cell phone, mobile data. It provides a 4G backup connection to the POS system.
Okay. Mhm. All right. It's on purple now.
Okay, perfect. If you go out front go to one of your POS stations on the screen, you should have like a small message asking you if you want to refresh the station. So you can just hit yes to confirm that you want to refresh it. And after that,
Okay.
you should be good to go. You can do the same thing with all three stations, and you should be
Okay.
all set. Do you see the prompt that I'm talking about?
Oh, yes. And okay.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Thank you.
Just one thing.
All right.
Can I
Okay.
get your first and last name
Mhm.
just so I can add you as a contact in our system?
Uh, yeah. Well, you have me, but this is the other that I have here, the other manager. So it's Catherine Hall.
Catherine. Okay. Catherine, thanks a lot for your
Mhm.
time. You should be good to go. And I'll give you guys a call back tomorrow just to remind you to plug that internet cable back in. By tomorrow, whatever
Yes.
issues your internet provider was having should be resolved so you can run on them again.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Bye
Bye.
bye. You too. Bye.
All right. So let's see if we have. She said her name was Catherine Hall, if I got the last name right. Catherine, yeah, okay, Catherine Hall. So I added to shared contacts, and here Catherine Hall, add to account El Rinconcito. Perfect. And I'll just put a note in, or actually, I'm gonna take this. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna delete this ticket because she didn't pick up on this one, but this is our call. So if you saw, I took this, this is the ticket ID or the ticket number. So I click to copy and I'm gonna link this call. So plus sign linking link to original. And I'm just gonna paste that ticket number, link it, okay. And now on this one, I'm gonna put a tag that says sub, where is it? Sub ticket, okay. And I'll resolve that. And then here, I'm just gonna type in my notes. Site is having ISP issues. Guided Catherine to unplug ISP and power cycle the Meraki. They are running on cellular now. We'll call her back tomorrow to plug the ISP back in. All right, so now I'm gonna close the ticket, but I'm gonna do something for you guys. You can do this yourself as well. On Slack, in any channel, this should work. I'm gonna make myself a reminder. So I'll type in slash remind, and I'll use this one. Set yourself a reminder. And then tomorrow, 31st, at let's say 10:30, 10:45, call Catherine or Viridiana. Viri is the general manager, I think, at El Rinconcito to plug the high-speed cable back into the Meraki and save it. So tomorrow at 10:45, I'm gonna get a reminder from Slack to do what I need to do. So, okay, ISP issue, that's going to be our tag for this one. And I'm going to resolve that. All right, what's going on here? Nothing. Okay. And so, yeah, I think both of you have the link to this customer's Google Drive, but I'm going to paste it in here. Roy, I know you have it for sure, but Angela, I don't know if I sent you that link or not. What what it's for, as you can see, it was very useful for me. So I could come in here. We have all of our merchants, all of our restaurants listed in here. So I come in here and I find El Rinconcito, and then we have site pictures. Now, there are some restaurants that we don't have pictures for. I need to get Matt to upload them, or I don't know if he even took them. I'll go through these folders to find which ones are missing, and I'll get him to add them. So we have the site pictures, and as you can see here, POS router and then POS switch. These two devices are almost always right next to each other or on top of each other. So because the switch is behind front counter, that's where the router is, and you can see both of them. This is the router and this is the switch. So it comes in very handy when I told them that it's behind the front counter. She knows what to look for. But I also explained to her, if you notice, that it's a silver box. It has a label right here that says POS router, and you cannot see it from these cables, but she should be able to see it. And then we have the two antennas sticking out the back, so it's easy for her to know what I'm talking about when I explain it that way. So okay, why is the Meraki dashboard not loading up? One thing I also, Roy, you know about this, but Angela, I don't know if you saw. Um, why is it unreachable now? Okay. Yeah, the Meraki dashboard is not perfect, so the site does have they are running on cellular, but the dashboard is just not picking up. Okay, I'll just leave it as it is. It's working, so I don't want to touch anything. But in general, let me actually get back to it again. Um, I'll choose a different location. So it displays the ports up here. Let's just wait for it to load up. So port 1 has a green light. That means that a cable is plugged into it, and then port 2 has a green light. There's a cable plugged into it. This port 1 is always the internet port. The internet provider cable is plugged into it. It comes from their modem, and then port 2 is from the POS switch. So sometimes the switch can be plugged into any of these, but except port number 4, because of the template that is, you can see up here, it says this network is bound to the configuration template DHCP MX235 POS4 pass GPS. So that's just telling us that 235 2, 3, and 5 ports are working, and I mean not working, but we can use them for that stuff. And port 4 is a pass-through port that can be used to plug in something external, not related to the POS system. So, um, not really sure if I explained that well, but we can use ports 2, 3, or 5 for the POS switch. It doesn't matter which one it is, but most of the times we use number 2 just so we have them in order. Okay, let's see if it loaded up. El rinconcito. Yeah, it's still not loading up, even though the thing is working. Okay. So, what was I talking about? I wanted to get back to Hog and Bones, to the layout. Um, okay. So, let's pull them up in back office again. So I'm talking about Hog and Bones specifically now, but you can apply this same ideology, so to say, to Jerry J's and Southern Roost as well. All of them pretty much have the same layout. The latest Southern Roost Baxley, may have a slightly different layout, but it's based on the same thing. They just have a couple more kitchen screens, which I'm about to get into now. I've only shown you printers, but these guys also have KDSs. So let's get them drawn on this little paint image. So let me just write right here that this is the drive-through. Okay, and where's the select? Is this select? No. Oh, selection. Oh my God. Okay. Um, so let's say that that's the drive-through window where they pass the the food to the customer and they're taking the payments. So then in the kitchen, we have, since we put the drive-through on this side in this instance, we have the hotbar printer for the drive-through orders, and then we have the expo printer for the drive-through orders, all on that side. So it's all linked, so to say. And then we also have a kitchen screen. Let's make it like this. So that one is for the drive-through, and let's say on the opposite side, we have a kitchen screen for um, for here's, for to-go orders, for online orders. They have two kitchen screens, not three. So one is only for drive-through orders because they get those a lot, and then the other one is for everything else. Now, to get back to the hotbar printers a little bit, I told you that Expo printers print everything. So if you take a look at the print routings, like all of these print routings, even though this one says hotbar, it also prints to the Expo printer. So no matter the print routing, you're always going to have an Expo printer printing whatever is being sent to this print routing. So just to confirm that we all have, okay, someone trying to call us. Yep, it's Catherine. Let me see. This seems to be working, so. Yeah, all stations are up, so if she needs to call, I'll let her give us a call again. I'll delete this one. So let's get back to, yeah. So The system is still not working, and now some payment won't go through, particularly station 2. Okay. Okay. Let me just see. So I'm gonna log out Edwin or whatever his name was, and I'm just gonna ring up something. Side order of this and modify, and I'm gonna say do not make because I want to test the credit card machine. So I'm gonna apply payment. Okay, the terminal you're trying to reach is offline. Okay, so let's continue working with this one. I think I have an idea of what's going on. So I'm putting them up in back office because it's saying that this payment terminal is offline. So let's verify. I could use the Meraki dashboard, but I find this way to be, um, I don't want to say easier, but mm, more exact than the Meraki dashboard. So I'm going to go to stations, and then we're having an issue with station 2. Okay. So the primary payment terminal is this one. So I'll just click this little arrow up over here, and it's going to bring us to this screen to payment terminals, which you can also find here. And this serial number has this IP address. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to pull up. So when you connect to something through Splashtop, to bring up the start menu, you can just press the Windows key on your keyboard. Now, Roy, you said that it doesn't work for you. One thing that you have to keep in mind when you connect to the station, you have to like click a couple times inside of the station screen and then hit the Windows button and it's going to bring up the start menu. But if it doesn't work, you can also use this button up here, Control Alt Delete, and then open up the task manager, and that way you get the taskbar and you get the start menu. So I'm going to pull up the command prompt, and what we're going to do is we're going to try to communicate with this IP address. So I'm going to try, there's a command in the command prompt called ping, so P-I-N-G, and I'm going to type in this IP address of the payment terminal of the pin pad 250.3. Okay, so it is online. We're getting this response. If it was offline or something, I would get, let's try this. Yeah, it would just be stuck like this, destination host unreachable, request timed out, and stuff like that. But in our case, we did get a response, a reply from the device. So that means that it's on the network. So I know what the issue is here. And it's something we encountered last week, I believe, Roy, or maybe 2 weeks ago. I think you had that phone call with someone where I helped you reinstall the browser extension. So what happens, I don't know why, but spot on Windows devices, it uses a Chrome extension called Imagine POS Payments. And for some reason, that extension has started messing up lately. So we need to just reinstall it. It's pretty simple. So I'm going to come into Chrome. I'm going to click on the extensions button here and just on Imagine POS Payments, I'm going to remove it from Chrome. And I'm going to confirm that I want to remove. Okay. And now we have the POS already pulled up inside Chrome. So I'll just log back in. Or actually, I'm going to close out Chrome just to be on the safe side because we removed the extension. I'm going to reopen it. It loads up spot on POS since it's the default page for this Chrome version. I mean, for this Chrome tab or Chrome profile, so to say. So I'm just going to log in and you could even see maybe, let's see again. Yeah, there was a small red error that popped up for a moment, but because I clicked on the POS, it went away. But the error message says cannot load browser extension or something like that. So it's telling us that there's no extension. So login, show commands, install browser extension. And then it gets you to the Chrome Web Store. And all we're going to do is add the Chrome and then add extension. And it takes a moment to load, but there we go. So has been added to Chrome. I'm going to close out Chrome and I'm going to open up Spot On, which is always in the taskbar here. It's pinned to the taskbar. And now if I go back to my side order of, what's cebola, guys? Is that like cabbage? Cebola fried cabbage, is that it? And I'm gonna apply payment and let's see. Okay, so we got to this screen. That means that it should be working now. We didn't get the red error message that says the payment terminal you're trying to reach is offline. You're not on the same network. So I'm just going to close this out and then reopen it because it would take a minute or two for that screen to time out and go back to the POS. So I'll just get it back up and running for them. Let me just void out that order that I made. Void POS test and close and log out. Okay, it should be fixed now. Are there any other stations having the same issue? Okay, so let's move on. Hopefully I didn't go too fast when it came to this discovering the IP address and doing the ping command. Angela, did you ever encounter that ping command that I did? I don't know how familiar you are with Windows-based systems, so just let me know. I mean, it's a pretty simple command. You can run it on your computer. You can ping google.com and it will give you a response. Okay, that's good. All right. That's probably the only command you're ever gonna need when it comes to spot on. Just so you can see if you need to ping a credit card machine or if you need to ping a kitchen printer or something or any network printer. Um, okay. Okay, so user canceled payment process. That could indicate an issue with their transit password. What's this? Southern Roost Black Share refund needed. Case closed. Okay. If that's the case, I'm gonna mark it resolved. Why is it not reading her name? Okay. Merge. Okay, good. Station 1 and Station 2. Station 2 and 3. Okay. Okay, we got Edwin logged into Station 2, so hopefully he's gonna try to take a payment. But let's see Station 3 for ourselves. So let's do another side order of cebolla frita. Did I pronounce that right? I probably butchered it, but excuse me if I did. Apply payment. So it does get to this screen. Thank you, Roy. Okay, so this station is in tablet mode, which I'm gonna disable. Okay. Okay, we got Edwin trying to do a payment here. Let's see what happens. Hopefully it goes well. Okay, that one went through. Cebolla? Is that how you would say it, Angela? I guess you're probably you're in different parts of Mexico. It's the two L's are pronounced differently, right? I think I noticed that some people say "ille" when it comes to two L's, "lle," and then some will say cebolla, or hell, I butchered that one. Or cebolla, yeah, yeah, and then la. But okay, don't let me butcher that any more than needed. Let's see what they do with this one. Are they going to take a card payment? Oh my god, Cebosha? What the hell? Okay, there. Okay. I just watched Edwin take. Okay. Okay, let's continue with our stuff. I'll keep you guys here for like 10, 15 more minutes and I'll let you go. We're closing in on the end of our shifts, Angela, so I'm getting off at 1 p.m. Eastern, same as you. Okay, so where was I? I was talking about hog and bones and printers and routings and stuff like that. And stations. Okay, and then order types I explained. Hopefully the thing for order types made sense. So there's a couple different there's a couple different ways they choose these order types on their POSs, but that stuff is set up under station types. So it says here, default order type is dine in, okay. And then we have an order type prompt. Are we not going to prompt them? Is every order from this station going to be dine in? we can do that. Okay. We just set this to none and we set the default order type and that's it. And then we have prompt on new orders. So that's when they're starting a new order, they're going to get a prompt to select what type of an order it is, what order type it is. And then we can prompt them when they are sending it through to the kitchen. But we choose to do this at the start of their order. They need to select what type of order it is. And then we have all of these different order types. So I'm not going to go into these order type routings. This is something pretty complicated. Roy, I don't think you even had contact with something like this at Spot On. Maybe there were a couple order type routes, but these guys are based exclusively on these order type routes. And yeah, so printer groups, when it comes to that, hotbar, let's go into printer groups. They're right here. So Expo prints everything. We already established that everything goes to the Expo printers because they want everything to be on those Expo tickets that they most of the time most of the times these Expo printers are actually those sticky printers. So they stick that ticket to the customer's bag or whatever, however they're packing the food. They stick it to the bag and give it out to the customer. Hotbar. Okay, so hotbar, that's like I said, that's in the kitchen. These are the hotbar printers, and they also print mostly everything, but not everything. So because most of the stuff needs to come through to the kitchen, it needs to print on these printers. But when I say mostly everything, that's where these kitchen screens come in. So for Hog and Bones and Jerry J's and Southern Roost, the kitchen screens only display certain items. So sandwiches and sandwich combos, which are like their main thing, their main selling point. For example, we have breakfast sandwiches and we have breakfast sandwich combos. So if I look at these items, the printer group says KDS. Okay, so they are all. So we have the grilled cheese. It also goes to the. Oh my God, Catherine. Okay, so it also prints potato slash KDS. That means it goes to that potato printer and also the KDS, the kitchen screen. So this printer group, if I check these print routings, they're also named the same KDS. They don't have any hotbar printer involved. So when it comes to sandwiches, they exclusively go to the two screens depending on the order type, and they come through to the Expo printers. The hotbar printers do not get any sandwiches because right here they have what they call the so-called sandwich station right about here for the drive-through, and then a sandwich station right about here for everything else. Sandwiches, again, are their main selling point, and that's why they decided to get rid of tickets that print and instead have it up displayed up on a screen. So whoever is working at this sandwich station knows what they need to make. Um, okay, so I feel like that should be enough for now. For I need to get back to Catherine, so I'll end the, or actually I'll leave the stream up. Let me see what she says. It won't. Okay, so station two is having a lot of issues, it seems like. It's not printing at all and not sending to the kitchen. Okay, let's get back to El Rinconcito to check a few settings. So first off, let's see. Let's pull up that Google Drive. I want to see something. If we have El Rinconcito. Let's see station 2, this image, if we can tell what type of printer they have. Okay, so it's an Epson. This is one of those T88 ones. I can never tell. It's not an M30. But in general, just important that it's a Epson printer. So we can check control panel and then devices and printers. Okay, so we have the default printer here. And I'm going to pull up this page and then I'm going to right click and then see what's printing. So I am going to print a test page and watch it here as it disappears. That means that it printed. When it disappears, that means that it actually printed on that printer. If it stays here, the status here would show an error, and then you know that something's wrong with the printer. But in this case, it's not the printer. That one should be fine. Now let's check back office. So again, stations first to make sure that the correct receipt printer is assigned, which is good, receipt 2. So receipt 2, so I'll change this. Oh my God. Ah, Matthias is probably provisioning some stations, so it keeps kicking me out. So station 2, okay. So I'm just going to change this to D88. And then station 2, okay, default printer, use it, and then printer name is default printer, which we can confirm right here. It says default printer. Okay, so that should not be an issue. Now, there's one thing that Angela, I think I mentioned this. It's called e-service or Imagine POS service on Windows-based POS stations. There's a small program that we install on the station, and it controls this station's printing. So when this station needs to print, if this Imagine POS service or e-service for short is not working properly, it's not going to print. So it says here, service to allow the POS to access hardware and services not accessible via whatever. We don't need to get into that. But in any case, I'm going to stop this service and I'm going to uninstall it. So I'm going to pull up the command prompt and run it as administrator. That's important for this part. So here are a couple more commands that you don't need to know yet. So cd is for change directory, backslash is to go back to the main directory. So we are now inside the C drive and I'm going to say cd eService. eService is a folder inside the C drive, so I can show you actually. So we have the C drive and then eService is a folder. And you can actually see their eService program is from 2023. So it's about time that we update it. So I'm going to run a command that says eService uninstall. And it's going to tell me, okay, Imagine POS service uninstalled. Perfect. Now I'm going to delete this thing. And we don't need this QSR DLLs. And then I'm going to open up Google Chrome and I'm going to paste this to you guys as well so you can have it saved somewhere. That's the link to download the latest version of that e-service program. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so it's downloaded and I'm going to go into my downloads folder and just cut it from here and then put it in here. Now, got to come back to my command prompt and reinstall the service. So e-service install. And then I could do a command that says e-service start, but I actually want to check how long has this computer been running for. I want to reboot it. Okay, actually not a long time, so we can just start it. Okay, so now if I'm gonna close the services. If I come back inside again and look for E, we have it running. Okay, and if I hit properties and look for the path to executable, it says C eService eService exe, which is exactly what we need. Okay, now I'm gonna pull up the POS again. and then log in and just try to, no, not going to the menu, but I'm going to try to print this check. Okay, so that should have printed fine. So I'm just going to void this off, POS test, and close it out. And then we'll stay connected, but I want to see. So Epson M30 print via station 3 controls the kitchen printer, and it is not the printer monitor. So we can change that from station 3 to station 1. And then I'm going to refresh station 1 if I can. Okay, I can probably do it. Refresh. And I'll just jump out. No need to do anything else there. Okay. Can you try sending something now and also printing a receipt? So I want to see if she is going to look at my text where I asked her to send something to the kitchen now on station 2. Okay, we got Edwin. He just printed a check. That should have been good. And then printing won't work. Interesting. Okay. Okay, I think it's going to be working now because they're sending multiple items. So they're just testing to make sure it works fine. We should be getting a text now from Catherine saying that it's working. No tickets print in the kitchen. Okay. Let's see. So printer group kitchen goes to print routing kitchen. That's interesting. Okay. Let's do this. Let's clear out cookies and cache from Chrome. Reload. Okay, so we have the information already saved on the computer, so no need for me to look for it on front. Okay, station 2, done. And now I'm just going to actually reboot the station, just to be on the safe side. Right, so, okay. All right. What's Claudio saying? I'm sending new work agreement shortly. Okay. Okay, Gabe. You guys handle that stuff with him. I don't have I don't have much to do with your work contracts and stuff. Those are things he handles. Just make sure you're happy with what they say. Okay, so we can actually watch in back office. Okay, station 1 has a green chain, so it came back on. Or no, actually station 2 we're looking for, but it's also back on. All right, perfect. I think we should be okay, but let's see what she says. Wow, okay. Interesting case. Okay. So side rice has the printer group assigned. Okay, let's do something different then. So let's first see Epson Advanced Printer Driver 6. Okay, and then control panel, programs and features. Okay, so it's a T20 Mark III. That printer? Okay. I guess we'll have to take what it says. So guys, I'm gonna do something now that I've seen help before, and it's a pretty rare thing. I actually had to do it like yesterday or 2 days ago, but I haven't done it in like a year. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna recreate the entire station. I'm going to create a new Windows user and log it in and set everything up. So actually not a bad time for you to be watching. So I have this command for the command prompt. It says net user spot on. So spot on is the username, and then GA uppercase, POS lowercase, that's the password of the user account. Slash add, okay, so we're adding a user. And net local group administrators, so local group administrators spot on this same account, add. So add this new user to administrators. And this stuff, this whole command is just to make sure that the Windows password for this new user never expires. So I'll just run that. It's a quick and easy way to add a new Windows user, and I'm gonna change this. No, hold on. Switch user. So spot on and then GAPOS. And I'll paste the command for you as well in case you ever need it. I'm not sure you ever will, but that's what you can do. You can run that command on your computer and it's going to do the same thing. So what are we going to need now? Pretty much we have the printer driver already installed on the other Windows user, so that's not going to be needed. But we're going to have to set up Google Chrome from scratch. That includes installing the browser extension. So um, we can leave the touch keyboard, show task view. We don't need that. Search button. We can leave it. So I'm going to start up Google Chrome, and then I'm going to take my front of house link. So I'm not going to sign in. We're going to use it as a guest profile, and I will set Chrome as a default browser. We can do that for sure. And we don't want to use Internet Explorer, that old dinosaur. So I'm going to pull up front of house. And so we need to provision, meaning we're going to need the email and the password. They are saved, but on the other user account, on this one, we don't have anything. So on front, I'm going to go into contacts and then accounts, and I'm going to find El Rinconcito, and here's the username or the email. I'm going to type that in there, and then the password, take it and put it in here. So I'm going to say login, and we're going to get a prompt that asks us if you want to save it. We can save it, so I am going to do that. And now we do this. Okay, that, and I will allow Spot on to connect to devices. All right, so first thing first, we gotta install the extension, and here it is. So could not initialize payment terminal manager. That's the extension thing. So install browser extension. Okay. Add to Chrome and add extension. All right, so we got that part taken care of. Now we can refresh, and now we need to create a shortcut, or aka install Spot on as an app on this computer. So I'm going to hit the three dots up here, cast, save, and share, and install page as app. Okay, install, and that opens up Spot on in its own little window, and we get this little icon. So I'll just close that out for now. There are a few settings in Chrome that I need to take care of. So I'm going to pull up the three dots again, scroll down to the bottom and say settings. Okay, so first things first, the most important one is this one, continue running background apps when Chrome is closed. I'm going to disable that. And then up here, autofill and passwords. And then I'll open up Google Password Manager. So we have the password for Spot on saved, and we don't want anything else. So I'm going to go into settings, and then offer to save passwords. I'm going to disable that. And I'm going to close this, and then go into payment methods. I'm going to disable this and disable this. I'm going to go back, and addresses, disable this. So the reason I'm disabling this is because when they type something in Spot on, like if they have to rename an order and put in a customer's name, if these two addresses and payment methods, if this stuff was say enabled, it would actually save whatever they typed in. So the next time they come to type something in, it would prompt them to select one of their previous things that they typed in. So that's the reason I'm disabling this. And we're done with Google Chrome. We're done for that part. I'm going to remove the shortcut. And here, I'm going to double right click on the Spot on Restaurant app, so to say, and then properties. And in this target window, I'm going to go to the very, very uh, last thing and put a space in, and then two dashes, and I'll type in kiosk. and I'll apply and hit OK. So the reason I'm doing that is because now it's going to open in full screen in so-called kiosk mode. That's something that it's a Google Chrome feature, and that's why they chose to use it. I can show you if I, oh, somebody's doing something, or maybe not. If I close this out and then I remove the thing that says kiosk, and if I open spot on, it's just going to open like this, minimized and not in full screen. Even if I maximize it like this, it still has this little border up top, which we don't want. So we put it into this kiosk mode. So again, space, dash, dash, kiosk. Okay, now what I got to do, I got to set up Windows now. Every time the computer reboots, it's still logging into that other user account. So I got to get that changed. So I'm going to open up the run window. You have it here, or you can do Windows plus R as a shortcut. And I'm going to type in netplwiz. And it gives us this screen. So this is where we set up the automatic logon for Windows. So I'm going to uncheck this thing and select, or actually check it, and select the spot on user, the new user we created, and then uncheck it so it locks in on that user and apply the change. Now it asks me for the password, which is GAPOS, and then GAPOS again. Okay. All right. Now, one last thing I got to do is I've set up this Windows user to automatically log in after this computer reboots. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to set it up so Spot On automatically opens after this user logs in. So to do that, I'm going to pull up the run prompt again. So in here, we're going to say shell colon startup. Colon are those two dots. I don't know how you call that in Spanish, but shell colon startup. So I need you to take me to the startup folder for this user, and it gets me there. So if I take the full path, it's C users spot on app data roaming blah 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 blah. Way too long to go into it manually. So then I'm just gonna hit Alt on my keyboard and drag this over. So it creates a link to this in the startup folder. So, and now anytime this user logs in, the computer reboots, this user logs in, it looks at this startup folder and it sees spot on. Oh, okay, I have to open this program, and it opens up spot on. So, no, I didn't want to do that. I'm going to pin this to the taskbar, like I told you guys we always do. And just to confirm, we have the e-service installed. Services. There it is. Just to make sure that e-service is also running, I'm going to check here and it's running. So it says here. Okay, now I'm going to open up Spot On again and I'll message Catherine back, ask her to, can you try it again? And now we just wait and see what happens. I know that I went way too fast just now, but that's because we're closing in to the end of our shifts, and I have somewhere I need to be. So I'll show you guys this later on. You'll have more examples. You're gonna encounter this sometimes, so I'll help you when time comes. Oh yeah, I forgot the live streams are recorded on YouTube. Yeah, yeah. Do you guys get the link after the stream ends? Like, or do you go into my channel and find the video there? I really don't know much about live streaming. It's my first time doing this, so Hopefully, YouTube keeps some sort of an archive for you guys where you can come back to this and watch it again. Uh, yeah, you guys, you're always welcome. I want you to learn. I want you to get as best as you can at this. So I'm taking my time with everything. I'm trying to explain, trying to get you guys so you get you a visual in your head so you can imagine how this stuff looks like and why it works the way it works and why we set up things the way we do and stuff like that. So I'm really going into way too many details than most people would. So hopefully it's going to pay off. And let's see what happens with Catherine now. Now she's going to tell me that it's still not working, probably. This is going to be interesting. Okay, perfect. It prints at the station and in the kitchen. All right, we got it fixed right on time. 12:58, 2 minutes to go. Perfect, perfect. Thank you very much for your patience. The issue was a little more complicated than I initially thought, so it took a bit longer to get it fixed. Have a great day. Like that. Always be kind to them. All right, so we can resolve this and we're done. So for today, I'll see you guys back again tomorrow. I'll be streaming after Roy comes in, so we can continue on our little journey here. Again, today we only had one call, so hopefully tomorrow we can get at least two or three so you guys can listen in. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.